Hey, I wanted to quickly make a video about kids and competition and the feeling of failure, especially around competition and how kids, work through competition. I was recently just having a talk with somebody about imposter syndrome and how, as an adult, imposter syndrome is that same syndrome that, self-doubt, whatever you want to call it, it's a fancy name, imposter syndrome, where you feel you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not big, strong enough, whatever that imposter syndrome created by the atmosphere that you're in, and how you can't let that creep into your life, and how certain people can also affect how that imposter syndrome is deeply rooted within you, whether you're growing up with this you're not good enough, you're not fast enough kind of thing, all the way into your coworkers, where you feel you've gotten a job and you need to prove yourself for some reason, and you're constantly working to show that you are good enough to be a part of the corporate team. And in that conversation, I was thinking about kids and how, as a parents, we do that to our kids subconsciously. And a parent recently asked me, "Hey, how are your kids so confident? Like, they just go out there without fear." And it's not that they go out there without fear. They've just learned to, at a young age, conquer their fear, especially around competitions. And that's why I'm a big fan of competition jiu-jitsu, and why I compete, and why my kids compete. So in competition jiu-jitsu, it really is that one-on-one, you're across the mat from another person. All those fears of a normal fight, am I gonna get knocked out? Am I gonna get choked out? Come into play. And you can't replicate that anywhere else. It's gotta be on the mat. And my kids go out there and they do extremely well. They compete extremely well. And it's because I haven't built that imposter syndrome in their mind that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I haven't trained enough. They actually go out there and do their best. And that's all I've asked for them. As a parent, that's all you can train your kids to do, is ask them to do their best. You can't be on the sidelines while they're training and give them the stink eye, or tell them to work harder, or get up. I hear a lot of parents in the training room tell their kids to get up. And you just beat them down when you're screaming from the sidelines, get up, and they can't. And they feel like failures. And in the training room, when you do that, it already builds into them now when they're doing competitions. You can't do that. You have got to have a calm voice all the time as a parent. Don't teach from the sideline. If you're a parent and you're teaching from the sideline, or you're trying to coach from the sideline, don't do it. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. You're building that imposter syndrome in them because you're asking them or telling them to do something and they can't do it. And already you've defeated them. As a parent, you've defeated them because you're the one they look up to the most. I mention this only because this parent asked me, what are you doing to your kids that make them so fearless? And again, it's not without fear. They're just brave. They've learned to conquer their fears. And those fears are, I'm not good enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not strong enough, I haven't trained enough. As a parent, always, you're the biggest cheerleader that your kids have. Win, failure, whatever it is, you have got to be a cheerleader for them. Root them on constantly. Find something positive to constantly reinforce with them every time you're with them. Whether it's they ate their whole meal, they were able to get past a guard that they haven't been able to get past. Anything, you need to start building them up instead of tearing them down. Nothing hurts my soul and heart more than when I hear parents coaching from the sideline. Additionally, you've got to replicate fear. And I think that can only be done, this is just my opinion, but I think that could only really be done in a true competition. You could train them all you want to do all these fancy moves and techniques, but it's not until you face off one-on-one in a room full of people, with people looking at them to win, that fear is the only thing that could be replicated minus an actual fight. And that's where your kids will really learn. In one of the parents' question to me, how to be fearless. Again, it's not fear. It's what it's teaching them is how to be brave enough and confident enough to go out there and perform their best. win or lose, perform their best. That's all. As a parent, that's all I've asked for my kids. Perform. That's it. Go out and do your best. Win or lose, I'm still your dad. I'm still there. I'm still going to give you a big old hug on the sideline. I'm going to be proud of you because you stood on that mat with that other person. You were brave enough to go and do that. Anyway, just wanted to make a video real quick about this, and to sum it up, don't create an imposter syndrome in your kids by constantly beating them down. Something positive every day and enforce those every single day. Pick something new. Every single event that they're doing, soccer, football, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, build them up. That's your job. Again, you're their biggest cheerleader. Go out and cheer them on.